flowers here for Christmas. Little Christmas spirit. Well, good morning. Welcome to Vermont Sun and Shade. If you haven't been here before, jump on board. It's totally free. And we just kind of connect really on the little things in Vermont, from little events going on to what the towns look like, to looking at cemeteries in the fall, and just about anything. But something I wanted to bring to your attention, I wanted to share some Vermont, some of the headlines that are going on around these holidays right now here in Vermont. And this one is, this was, let's see, I guess it's by WCAX because that's kind of the icon there. And it is about the Black Cap Coffee to close their Burlington shop amid employee protests. So the article is by Abigail Sachs, and it was updated on December 8th. So I don't know if this is associated or the same owners, or doesn't say, to the Black Cap coffee that is in Morrisville, and the reason I bring this up is I was just there the other day. So they have a great menu, but this is saying, this is in Burlington, Vermont. For those of you familiar with Burlington, there's a major street called Church Street, and it's like all brick and cobblestones and where people can walk. And back in the day, like over 40 years ago, when my kids, when I was raising my kids, it was buzzing, and it was so vibrant and so lovely. And so many things have changed. Many of the stores that were there. There was it LL Bean was down there right off of the main Church Street. They closed down and moved out of Burlington. And a number of other shops have. So that's why I wanted to read this. So they're also closing. It says Black Cap Coffee Store on Burlington's Church Street is closing for good. It comes after workers walked out Saturday over what they say are unfair labor practices. But the owner says the decision to close was not related to the strike. This can't be a very large business, this coffee shop. I don't believe it's anything like Starbucks. So it says workers said they held the strike to fight back at the company's targeting of unionized workers in mass layoffs to discourage unionization. Okay, my only reaction to that is, being an HR person, I have seen over the decades so many companies that did something in kind of an oppositional type of behavior, where unions are concerned. At least I would question them over the years. This isn't anyone I worked for, but I'm just saying, through my decades of experience in the workforce, and look, this is what I say. Give businesses some type of incentive, please. Help these small businesses. And then, all of the other things that they need to do maybe won't, break their backs, so to speak. I don't even know what she's talking about. Okay, what I'm talking... Hi, welcome. I should stop in the middle of what I'm saying. What I'm talking about is this. Black Cap Coffee, is, see if I can oh goodness. This jumps all over the place. So, Black Cap Coffee is a little business down on Church Street in Burlington, Vermont. Do any of you know it? It's have you ever been down in Burlington, Vermont to Black Cap Coffee on Church Street? It's also the reason I brought the article up because guess what? It's also in Morrisville, Vermont, and I was just there the other day. So I was surprised to read this article. Hi Sherwood, hi. How are you today? And Jenny, is that Jenny? The text is so small. And so welcome and have a beautiful, I hope you're having a beautiful Saturday. I just decided to read some headlines on Vermont news and like what's going on because if any of you are familiar, I'm not just saying Burlington, all around Vermont, even up here in Northeast Kingdom, all through Vermont, there have been businesses not able to sustain, they're closing. So this one kind of takes me by surprise because if this is associated with the Black Cap Coffee that's in Morrisville, that's not very big. I'm just saying, if this is a really small business, granted, it has to be big enough to go union. So what's happening here in the article is the employees are picketing. I'm sorry, they're on strike, okay? They're on strike. And it's not clear why, like the detail of why they're on strike. It says, okay, well, let's read it. Let's continue to read it. And then I can recap it if I need to again. So, so the Black Cap Coffee is closing for good. Again, that's what got my attention because it's a small business, I believe. And I think it's been there a while. Let's see if the article gives us some more detail. So it comes after the workers walked out Saturday over what they say are unfair labor practices. That's why they walked out. But the owner says the decision to close was not related to the strike. Workers said they held the strike to fight back at the company's targeting of unionized workers in mass layoffs to discourage unionization. So that's what the issue is. They believe the company is targeting them specifically. Employees at Church Street location unionized earlier this year and have spent the last 9 months negotiating contracts. Sometimes I'm just saying the union might ask for something that the business isn't able to give. I don't know. What book are you reading? Oh, I'm just reading the newspaper now. The article. I'm reading an article LL. Okay, it's by WCAX. It's by Abigail Saves on December 8th. So there's no set date to strike. Oh wait, I'm sorry. Let me back up a little bit here. So Black Cap owner Laura Vallata recently announced the closure of Burlington location just before workers are set to receive their annual raise. You know, you work really hard with these huge numbers of people coming in, raking in a ton of revenue for the company, and then to get laid off right before you're set to receive your wage or your PTO gets approved is very disheartening. It's probably more than disheartening for some people. There's no set end date to strike, and workers said they are prepared to escalate their efforts, including picketing outside non-union locations. In a statement announcing the shop's closure, Vallata said, "The decision to close Church Street was very difficult for me and came after 2 years of steadily declining sales." Now that I totally believe, because like I said, the past couple of years, the businesses all through Vermont have been closing. And they lost LL Bean down there several years ago. When you lose a really big business like that and you're a cafe or, like a food business, you depend on those businesses to come and buy their food from you, you know what I mean, or their coffee. So I totally believe her that the sales were declining. It makes sense. So it goes on to say, above all, I want to be very clear um, that my decision to close had nothing to do with the union. It was a decision made with a heavy heart by a business owner who has done her best to make the Burlington location work. Oh, here you go. The 3 non-union, okay, so they are related. That's what I was wondering. The 3 non-union locations are in Waterbury, Stowe, and Morrisville. So, okay, now I can speak on this because those are non-union. The one in Morrisville is adorable. You can go in, there's many tables, you can sit down. It's a really comfortable atmosphere. They have like alternative calm music playing, or classical music, whatever, and you can sit at the table with your coffee and have a snack. They have a granola bar there that is I'm 13 labor practices. What does that mean? I'm 13 labor. I do not know. Oh, you're asking. I see what you're saying. I'm sorry. Okay. Unfair labor practice generally means that there are requests of you as an employee that are not standard. In other words, there may be, for example, they say, oh, this is a 40-hour work week. So there's 40-hour work weeks, okay? And then they do something like, hey, we need you for overtime, but we're going to take that overtime and we're going to count it as something else in your paycheck later on. Well, you're supposed to get your time and a half in the week of the 40-hour plus that you've worked. So something like that usually has to do with your work environment, your schedule, your paycheck. Something's going on that's not fair. Usually it's people feeling like they're being overworked. That's usually what it is. Doesn't say that here. But these, now I've been, like I said, to the one in Morrisville, and the customer service is absolutely exquisite. I mean, you are paying, I would say, you're paying easily over 100% more for some of these. For example, there's a granola bar that I was saying, it's made of all natural. It's a good sized granola bar, but it's a good amount of money. It's like $6 or $7, I don't know exactly, but it's $6 or $7. That's a good amount because you could go get a granola bar maybe for $3.50 still, or $2.50. So anyway, they do charge, it is a little bit more. But the customer service is exquisite. The food is really fresh, really good. It's a unique menu, and I really, really like the place. So they have the Black Cap coffee in Waterbury, Stowe, and Morrisville, and all of those are non-union. So unions, for those of you who are not familiar with what a union is, the union is an organization that comes into the little company. And this is, I guess, what I'm raising my eyebrows a little bit, because unions generally will go into like a manufacturing company or, a substantial company. So to hear them, they're going into small, tiny little companies, I wonder, you know, I mean, I think there has to be at least 50 employees for them to go in, something like that. So the Black Cap Coffee in Burlington, I haven't been to that one. It must be larger. This one up here in Morrisville is quite small, and they're not open 24/7, so I can't see where there's 3 shifts. I don't know how many employees they have, but they're clearly, yeah, non-union. They're small. So I was only commenting this just brings me to the thought that small companies in Vermont, not just Vermont, but all over the place, but in Vermont, is difficult for them to sustain because it's so expensive to have a little company. It really, to even open the door, not even counting insurance, but insurance and taxes and permits, all the permits. And then, you have to pay for the overhead, the capital, like the lights and the heat and all of this. So by the time they get those doors open, they're hoping they're going to make enough to pay the rent, which is substantially very high if you're in Burlington, which I'm not understanding because so it has gone, it has struggled. So I would think there would be more incentives for the smaller companies or the small businesses. And maybe there is that I'm not aware of. But so I was just wanted to read that headline, and then I wanted to just put in a search here on Vermont news, and this is for Saturday, and I can't even believe it's December 13th already, guys. Seriously, it's crazy. Let's see. Okay, so Vermont news, a Vermont rescue team sees increase of calls as social media lures skiers into danger. Social media? Okay, in Vermont, if you do go to Smuggler's Notch or Jay Peak or any of these ski areas, Killington, and you're going up on the beginner slope or you're going up on one of the slopes, don't go off the trails. Some people think, oh, wow, that looks fine. And they can kind of see it slopey and they think they're totally fine. And then they're lost really fast. And it happens every single winter. So even if you're a Vermonter and you think you know those hills really good, that's not something you want to do. So a rescue team that covers Vermont's tallest mountain has seen a rise in calls for, here we go, from inexperienced skiers who end up getting lost, which I was just saying, and in dangerous locations after being influenced by videos and social media. So I don't know what they're being influenced by because the article kind of shuts off right there. Let's see here. Oh, it's not going to let us read any further. Okay. That's kind of weird. Let's go back here. Here's a Vermont article. Winter weather experts issue warning about major force driving 15.7-inch snowfall. That's a day ago. Okay, so yeah, I'll talk to you a little bit about the weather just for a few minutes, and then we'll head out. So it has been well below zero at night here in Vermont. And today it's about 20 degrees, which is nice. But it's a chilly 20. It's like the chill factor is super cold. So what this is saying is that we're going to get more snow. It says winter weather experts are warning that a major force driving snowfall records means harsh weather is here to stay for a time. It's called La Nina. The scientists with the National Weather Service warned on December 11th that La Nina is favored to continue for the next month or two. Whoa, that's crazy. That means cold temperatures and it means snowstorms. The center wrote that La Nina's effects are expected to continue from December through February. But what will La Nina bring? La Nina refers to the periodic cooling of the ocean, surface temperatures in the central and eastern equatorial Pacific. The National Weather Service explains, typically La Nina events occur every 3 to 5 years, but on occasion they will occur in successive years. So, according to USA Today, the experts believe it's possible the weather phenomenon will linger through the spring. La Nina that began in October will soon be shaping U.S. winter weather through 25-26. Meanwhile, the snow continues to fall, the temperatures remain frigid. That's the type of winter that we're having, and they're saying we're going to continue to have. That's too bad. I hope that we get a little bit of a break in between. But in the meantime, I guess some messages are being held for review, so I'm not sure what's being said there, guys. Okay. So we're going to bring this to an end, and I just wanted to jump on here and share with you about the business, the Black Cap Coffee business closing, and that, yeah, we're continuing to have really, really cold weather, and just be really safe. And with that, I wish you love and light.